For a while now, I've realized that there's no issue of, they'll tell you back in the day everybody believed in slavery, and the Bible says slavery is okay, so naturally everybody agreed with it. But guess what? Not everybody was always a Christian. Oh, here we go. Not everybody was always a Christian. Not everybody always agreed with slavery. For example, the slaves. So every slave society, every slave subculture has revolted. There's examples in every slave society throughout the history of mankind for thousands of years. Slave revolts. Spartacus is a really fun one. Okay, slavery is just kidnapping. It's not something from the past. We have it now. It's called kidnapping. We have people that kidnap, and put people in their basement in Cleveland and on and on and on. That's slavery. Just because it's institutionalized and people say kidnapping this kind of person is okay. What kind? Well, the kind that has a contract that they're a slave, the kind that is a particular race. Oh, a race and has a contract. Whatever, it's kidnapping. It is kidnapping. So I pose a question to you. Is it possible to consent when you're being kidnapped? Here, you want to eat this hamburger? Yes, I consent to eating the hamburger. Is that consent? You don't have any other choice. You're not allowed to get anything else. You have no options. It's that or nothing. Is that consent? And if you get so hungry you finally take it, is that consent? It's impossible to consent when you're kidnapped because the meaning of kidnap is that your freedom has been totally taken away. And whatever little glimpse of freedom that might logically sound like it's freedom, like, hey, it's recreation day. Do you want to play Super Nintendo or you want to play chess with your captor? Do you consent to play chess with your captor? Do you consent to playing Super Nintendo with your other captor? Is that consent? No. You can't consent if you are a slave, right? Is that true or not? That's the question. Can you consent when you're a slave, and is slave anything other than kidnapping?